What's going on, guys? Chuck back with another awesome Blu-ray purchase, and this is one I'm very excited about. It's something I pre-ordered a few months back. I think probably sometime late December, maybe, from Umbrella Entertainment, and that is the box of Burt, the man, the myth, the mustache. As you can see, this is a collection of Burt Reynolds films. Most of these, I think, were probably. I think some of these have been released on Blu-ray, not all of them, but these are kind of collected editions, or I'm not really sure, but they put them all in here, and it's great. And I am so excited. This was like a day one purchase for me when I saw this. I've always been a fan of Burt Reynolds. Now I have not seen all of Burt Reynolds films, obviously, but I always enjoyed like 70s, 80s Burt, the funny Burt. I enjoyed, one of my all-time favorite films is Smoking Abandoned. I've always loved that film. I love the Cannonball Run. Um, I a lot of this film, Stroke Race, Hooper. A lot of those, like I said, that funny Burt Reynolds, I always enjoyed. Now I'm not extremely familiar with dramatic Burt Reynolds, with the exception of probably Deliverance and Boogie Nights. Talk about two ends of the spectrum. Um, but I've always found him as a fascinating individual. Obviously, huge, so much charisma, and talent he had. I was always a big fan of that. As a guy, just drew you in. But I've always, whenever I've seen Burt Reynolds, I've always enjoyed it. And you can go back to very early, one of his earliest appearances on the Twilight Zone TV series. How many people know this? An episode called The Bard. I believe this is doing their fourth season when they were doing hour-long episodes. And then the premise it was you had a hack screenwriter who's trying to sell TV scripts. He basically has no idea, so he finds a way to summon William Shakespeare to help write his script. So one of these scripts is being made into a pilot, and one of the actors in it is Burt Reynolds, who's doing a Marlon Brando, a young Marlon Brando impression, which is, it was basically, you can tell he's supposed to be like Marlon Brando, but it's Burt Reynolds. It's very fascinating. I also remember in the '80s Burt Reynolds being popular in the game show Win, Lose or Draw, which was huge. I think it was a syndicated show, or it might have been on network. I don't remember. I remember being syndicated at the time, and it was him and Burt Comedy because they had a company like Burt and Burt Productions, I think it was. But it was, if you don't know what Win, Lose or Draw was, it's basically like Pictionary, which you had two teams and they're all celebrities, and Burt Reynolds was on almost every one of them, and they're trying to draw pictures and guess what they are. It was a lot of fun because Burt would have these silly antics and whatnot. But I digress. Like I said, I've always enjoyed Burt Reynolds, and I was very sad when he did pass away. Like I said, he was such a larger than life personality, and I was just again so happy to get this and pick it up. So let's take a look at it again from Umbrella Entertainment. This is the box of Burt, and you see it's in here. We've got 5 films spread across 4 discs. Let's take a look. You see the films on here. We got Cannonball Run 1 and 2, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Stroker Ace, and The Man Who Loved Women. So interesting. I have seen all of these except for The Man Who Loved Women. And I haven't seen Stroker Ace in a long, long time. So, very excited to get that. So, there's that. Here's back with all the descriptions and all the special features on here. And, of course, you've got your discs. So, let's pop them out one at a time, shall we? So, you're combined in one disc, which is a little disappointing, but I'm not going to complain. But you've got Cannonball Run 1 and 2 together in this one set. Here's your back. And I love the little warning here. It's warning, this film contains heavy use of Burt's stash. Viewer discretion is advised. So there's that. I think that's hilarious. I think every one of these has it on there. Inside you've got this disc, and you have this nice little group shot from Cannonball Run Part 2. Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis, Shirley MacLaine, Dean Martin and Burt. Look at the second disc is The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Now, I like musicals, and this is a fun one. Um, I I had the soundtrack. Me and my friend Elizabeth, years ago in high school, because she was a big fan of this too movie. We cranked the soundtrack in the car when we drove any place, and we would just sing it. I absolutely it's just a fun movie. Uh, and I have a DVD, so I'm really glad to get this Blu-ray. Now I'm curious if this is an edited version, because I know the DVD I have, I believe, has the edited line at the beginning, the song "20 Fans." There's a line at the end where the line's supposed to be "I'm coming and coming." That's changed to "Hallelujah, I want to thank you, Jesus" at the end of the song. It's just kind of weird. I don't know why that change was made, but I have noticed that in some home video versions. So it'll be interesting to check this out and see what version's on here. But Best Little House in Texas, and this is Oscar nominated too, as Charles Durning was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for his 5 minutes on screen where he sings the one song, what the Sidestep, I think it's called. Inside this one, you actually have a little booklet, which tells you a lot about some of the history of Burt, and some nice little ads and box office muscle. I think there's a little article about Burt Reynolds, who was one time thought about as replacing Sean Connery as James Bond. Wouldn't that have been interesting? Women who love Burt. And let's see. The little thing here about Dom DeLuise and Burt and their relationship. How comedy gold. That they were such good friends and a lot of fun together. And just other little articles in here about some of his history of his movies, and his different list of different vehicles he's used. But this is a very good little booklet. It even talks about Playburt. And it has some nice little quotes there at the back. So that's in the Best of House in Texas set. And in here, you've got the disc and a couple stills from the film there. I'm sure I got that in the camera there. There we go. All right. So get that back in here. Next up, we have Stroker Ace, the stock car racing film. And this is one I have not seen in a long time. And this is one I would always get confused with Hooper, which is the film where basically he's playing a stuntman. And I say get confused in the fact simply that whenever because I have Hooper, and I would always go to the looking for Stoker Ace, and if I can remember, I'd see Stoker Ace, and it's like in the a used DVD store, or like a disc replay, and I would tell myself, do I have? I think I have Hooper, or I think I have Stoker Ace. I should probably get Hooper, and I always get it mixed up. I already had Hooper. Forget to get Stoker Ace. So that's one of the reasons why I got an app on my phone. So if I was ever out and about in any one of these places, I could look it up and determine what I got. But now I actually do have Stroker Ace. There's your features on here, and all of these have like a little Burt Reynolds story. Like this one is Burt Reynolds story of Stroker Ace. Obviously a little documentary and some commentaries. And your disc. And there's your little image insert. It's really cool. And the last disc in this set is one I have not seen, but it looks very interesting. It's The Man Who Loved Women. There's that. And I think it's Blake Edwards, little comedy. So here's special features on here. And your disc in. Evidently, all the women this man loved. So there is the heart of this set. Is all these films. Now, one thing I've noticed on here is that the discs do say they are Region B. However, I did, out of curiosity, because I have a couple of Umbrella Entertainment discs, and usually mostly region free. Each one of these do say Region B. And I just, out of curiosity, I popped them in my PS4, and they play with no problem. So even though they may say that they are Region B locked, evidently they are really Region A or they're region free. My guess is region free considering this did ship from Australia. And it took a while to get here, had to go through customs, yada yada yada. So now that's kind of the meat and potatoes of everything. But wait, there's more. I got a little bag of goodies that came with said box of Burt. So let's see if I can pop this open and check out what we have in here. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's start off with, I believe this is probably an air freshener. That's what it looks like. This is the famous Burt Reynolds pose from Playgirl magazine. Obviously, in this case, he's clothed. But if anyone's seen the actual centerfold, you know that's not the case. But, you know, this is an old neat little, I'm assuming this is an air freshener. But some kind of thing you'd hang up, maybe in your car. You want to drive around with Burt Reynolds dangling from you. And who wouldn't? Let's see. We've got, okay, little cards here advertising the box of Burt, which is kind of a 70-ish, what to say on here. If you're lucky enough to have a lean, trim, hard body, make the most of it. Get into the films of Burt Reynolds, the biggest box office draw card in the late 70s and early 80s. His films are so macho and provocative, they're downright sinful. You'll even feel sexier watching them. Add a cowboy hat and mustache, and you'll have to fight the girls off. I feel sexy already. Last year, Annie Fitzpatrick gave her Uncle Gerald a lovely pair of pajamas. This year, she's given him a very much more fitting gift, his very own mustache ride. This is great. So there you go. 5 evil things you can do whilst watching a box of Burt. And there they are. All 5 of them right there. These cards are fantastic. See, the box of Burt. A box set for the other man lurking inside you. I feel so much more macho now. This is great. Taste maketh the man, and she loves a man who loves Burt. Oh my goodness. These are great. These are awesome. Okay, so we got a bumper sticker. Honk if you love Burt, and who doesn't? And looks like we've got a couple posters, so let's take a look. They're double-sided. So first off, we've got one side here that is Stroker Ace. On the flip, you have this nice Best Little House in Texas. Very nice. And here we've got, oh, a foreign poster for the Cannonball Run. That's interesting. And look like a Japanese version, or maybe that's actually not Japanese. That's probably, I'm not sure that's the what, but that's Asian of some kind for Cannonball Run Part 2. So that's pretty neat. No representation for the man who loved women, however. So that is the box of Burt. Great collection. I'm definitely gonna. I think I'm gonna have to hang up these 2 posters here. I'll just have to decide which ones to decide to hang up. Probably the Best Little Whorehouse and Cannonball Run 1, because I really like those movies a lot. So yeah, this again was a pre-order from Umbrella Entertainment. I don't know if they're still available. They could be. I highly doubt it though. This is probably late December when I ordered them, and then it shipped out a week or 2 ago. It took a while to get through, come through customs to make it here, but it just right here. Awesome set. I can't remember the sell point on it. I know it was a very good price for these 5 films in this little set. So yeah, if it's available from Umbrella, pick it up. I'm glad I did. This is fantastic. I think the only thing I could have maybe gotten was a really awesome Smoking the Bandit box set. But that's okay. This is awesome. So that is it for now. If you enjoy this, click thumbs up, share, subscribe. Leave me a comment below. Let me know your favorite Burt Reynolds movie. You know, if you enjoy any of these films. You know, like I said, my all-time favorite Burt Reynolds is definitely Smoking the Bandit. It's because of that movie that for so many years I actually had a Firebird. I couldn't get a Trans Am, but I did have a Firebird, and it was black, and I love that car so much until I got sideswiped by a semi, ironically, if you think about it. Nevertheless, so leave me a comment below. Let me know your favorite Burt Reynolds movie, memory, you know, anecdote, whatever the case may be, or just say hi. I'll always take hi. Until next time, this is Chuck saying I will see you on the other side. That's a Big 10 for good, buddy.